I'm Jay.
I'm Eraj.
And this is Cheers and Tears.
So Jay.
Yes.
You have a New Year's resolution?
I do have a New Year's resolution, and I'm so excited to share it because this means that I'm going to have to hold myself accountable. I am going to lose, drumroll please, 30 pounds.
Oh, okay. In 1 year?
In 1 year, I'm going to get back to my pre-COVID weight by the time I have to make a new Year's resolution. What about you? Do you have any?
Mine is to work on my mental health.
Oh, I think that's a great one.
Yes, I know. I'm excited. All of our 24 listeners are going to hold us accountable for this.
So why are we talking about New Year's resolutions?
Because our episode today focuses on New Year's, specifically on New Year's resolutions and why they work and why they don't.
Well, I got 1,010 reasons why they don't. That's for sure. Doing research for this episode, literally, I felt personally attacked, like almost as bad as when you feel personally attacked by Regina George.
Do you feel personally attacked by Regina George often?
I wouldn't say often enough for me to mention it, but often enough to where I do kind of feel a little insecure.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
Why do we even make New Year's resolutions?
Well, the ancient Babylonians were the first ones to actually make a New Year's resolution around 4,000 years ago. They're actually the first ones that celebrated New Year's in the first place.
Oh, really? So New Year's is only 4,000 years old? Well, I mean, like,
well, I'm
not
sure there were
4,000
New
years
Year's,
old, but
yeah.
like the celebrating New Year's is only 4,000 years old.
Yeah, the celebration of the New Year is around 4,000 years old. But the Babylonians had a different calendar than us, so it wasn't like at the same time. But pretty much they had the same concept where the first day of the year, they would actually have a 12-day feast, which I feel like we should bring that back. I would love a 12-day feast for New Year's. And during that feast, they would crown the new king and reaffirm their loyalty to him. And they made promises which later became known as New Year's resolutions.
Well, clearly none of their resolutions were to lose any weight if you're going to have a 12-day feast.
Let the feast begin.
They felt that if they did keep to their word, then the pagan gods would favor them throughout the new year. And then the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar continued that tradition when he reformed the calendar. So he's the one who kind of made the calendar the way that it is. He started off the first month with January, and he named January after the two-faced god Janus, who looked backward into the previous year and forward into the upcoming year. So kind of a way to reflect back into your previous year and kind of realize what you're doing or what you need to change to have a better life in your next year.
Who knew Julius Caesar was so deep?
I don't know if he's the one who came up with this. There's probably like ghostwriters for you know what I mean? Like there's probably advisors and people under him who don't get the credit.
That's true. And what happens if they didn't keep them? Like their head got cut off, or what happened?
I mean, Julius Caesar was just disappointed in them, you know.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. But yeah, that's how New Year's resolutions got started. From then, things have obviously changed. We're not really making the resolutions to God anymore, to like any higher purpose. It's really a lot for ourselves.
That's true. Unless your New Year's resolution is to like get closer to God or something. I mean, in that case, like,
that's
which
true.
I have had that as a resolution before.
Did you get closer to God?
I feel like I did. I mean, I had like forgotten like all about the resolution, and it was just like something that I guess like I just wanted to do, so I did it anyway. Like I didn't think of it as a resolution, which I think like probably helped.
When you're doing it for a while, you also kind of lose track of the resolution in the first place. That could be a reason why New Year's resolutions end up not working out.
Oh, there's a ton of reasons why they don't work out. Let me tell you why in the least feeling like I'm victimized way possible.
You just wrote this whole article yourself.
I did.
There was no background research for this.
There was no background research. I solely did this all on my own, just attacking myself alone with my inner thoughts. On to a brighter note. Well, I guess not a brighter note. These are reasons why they don't work out, but at least, it's a realistic note. They did a study at the University of Scranton, and they found that 23% of people quit their resolution after 1 week. I have been guilty of being in that 23%, whether or not I was invited to participate in the study. And they found that 19% of individuals are actually able to stick to their goals long term. And by long term, they meant like 2 years or more.
Wait, where was this taking place?
Scranton.
Like in the office?
Yes, like the office.
Out of the office, who do you think would keep to their resolution?
I'm gonna say Jim. Jim seems like a guy that would stick to his resolution.
I feel like Angela would.
Angela's just mean.
Angela, I love her. Is that bad? Look, she likes cats.
It's not shocking.
Once. Oh, wow. Okay, thanks. I feel sorry.
I completely forgot what we were doing for like a brief second.
I didn't even hear your statistics. All I heard was Scranton.
They call it Scranton. What? The Electric City. Scranton. What? The Electric City.
So why don't people stick to their goal?
Excellent question. And hopefully my ADHD doesn't take over. They don't stick because most people aren't ready to change. They're doing things that they feel like they have to do versus the things they want to do. And who wants to do that? No one. It's like people don't want to sit there and, exercise or eat better. They're doing those things because they feel like they have to versus like actually you want to lose weight or you want to eat better, but you don't want to do the process that comes with it. And people have like a huge problem with purpose. Like they make these goals, but they don't have the motivation to like follow through with them.
Right. I mean, they obviously want the goal, like they want the outcome, but they just don't want to do the little process stuff that they have to do in between in order to reach their goal.
Exactly. You have to want the change. So like you don't want the change that badly, you're not going to end up following through with it. And that's like a huge problem is why people don't stick with them.
Which makes sense. Like the outcome's always better than the work that you put in.
Exactly. Like I want to drop my 30 pounds, but I don't want to exercise. But am I going to exercise anyway? Yes. But I do it. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing that more because I want to than I have to. But I don't know. So I also feel like I have to because I can't fit any of my pants except for my sweatpants. You have to break your old habits, which people are really bad at, which is another reason why they don't stick to them. Because you have to like let's say like a habit like smoking. Like that's a habit. That's something that people tend to do like every single day. And if you do that, it requires change to your routine. It requires you to actually be like more cognitive of what you're doing. And it just requires a lot more mental effort. Because it's like biting your nails. Like if you want to stop biting your nails, you have to be like cognitively aware that you're actually biting them. Because our habits are stored in our unconscious memory.
Yeah. But if you are biting them, then you're not really thinking about it when you're doing the habit, but breaking the habit is something you're constantly thinking about.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's exactly how it works. And it's super frustrating. I know I was trying to stop biting my nails when I was a kid for like years because I wanted super long nails. And one day I was just like, oh God, my nails are ugly. I'm never biting these things again. And I just stopped. Like vanity is like it sounds terrible to say, but like I can break habits if I feel like it interferes with how I look.
I mean, when it's habits that are internal, it's easier to hide from people.
And when we change habits or like make new ones, you're doing more active thinking, which is what I feel like I had to do. Like I had to like sit there and think about like if I put my hand near my mouth, it'd be like, nope, don't do it. And like smack yourself like or do something to get you like to stay away from it.
I just had the mental image of you just smacking yourself. You're like sitting on the subway, just like smacking your hand.
On the subway?
I don't know why that's what I thought.
We don't even have been on the subway.
We don't even have subways.
I did. I went to New York once and I was on the subway.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah. It was an interesting ride.
No, subways are definitely it's a place where you break old habits, you know?
Exactly.
Apparently.
can break your habits in a subway. You can break your habits in a subway, as in the restaurant.
Yeah, wait, why did you think of the subway, the train? Maybe I was thinking about the restaurant.
Or, you know, I don't eat Subway.
There's something about their
Hmm.
bread. Their bread is so good.
It's all the sugar.
Yeah, I know.
This is making me hungry, and I'm not supposed to be hungry. I'm supposed to, or if I am hungry, I'm supposed to be eating like lettuce. See, this is habit. I'll probably go get a piece of cake after this.
No, you're not gonna get a piece of cake. This
It's
podcast is
hard.
not for our listeners. This podcast is for us to make sure that we do our New Year's resolution.
Well, it's like, I feel like it's going to be harder to keep New Year's resolutions this year because we're in a pandemic. So we're going to fall into like old habits, and we're going to want like to feel comforted, and we're not going to want to like get out of our routines. For those of us who even have a routine, Lord knows I don't, I need one. But you know, it's harder during a pandemic to like stick to what you're doing, especially like all the gyms are closed. Not that I had a gym membership anyway.
That's
Well, I did, but I ended up paying $500 and only going like twice. It was terrible. My
Oh
grandparents are
no.
still mad about it. Yeah, my grandfather's like, "You're never getting a gym membership ever again." I was like, "All right." That's another thing that gets me. It's like I always planned to go to the gym, right?
Hmm.
But I never did it. And I feel like that's just as bad as another reason why people don't stick to the resolutions, which is the lack of planning, because good habits take planning to stick. You have to plan to not break your habits and to make better ones. Because I think it takes what, like 28 days to form a habit or to break a habit.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But yeah, you have to like stick to your budget. You have to like plan your schedule. You have to like anticipate any challenges and have solutions for anything that might pop up. Like if you want to stop eating out with friends so much, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you got to just be willing to say no. But, you know, with any good plan, mistakes happen. And the University of Scranton actually did another study, and they found out that people messed up 14 times at least when sticking to their resolutions. But 71% of those people said that their mistakes strengthened their desire to reach their goals.
Oh yeah. No, I can totally see that. I think after the first mistake, you start feeling like you're kind of doing it out of spite almost, like, how could I give up so easily? And then that could encourage you to keep going.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I get so discouraged after the first time. I'm just like, I couldn't do it. I'll never be able to do it. Oh, well, might as well go back to my old ways.
Well, later on in this episode, I'll talk about how to fix that.
Ooh, okay. I definitely need that because I am not very confident in my ability to stick to my New Year's resolution. But in all fairness, it's actually better to have a lack of confidence than it is to be overconfidence, because overconfidence is more likely to end your resolution.
That's interesting. I didn't think about being overconfident in anything in my life, honestly, but and especially resolutions. Why do you think people are more overconfident in their New Year's resolution?
Because I think that, oh, like that new year, new me mentality. And they're like, it'll be easy, it'll be fun. And then, like, 2 days into it, you're like, oh, I'm so over this. And then you just make such high expectations for yourself that are impossible to meet.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. I definitely think a lot of people think that just because it's a new year, somehow things are different, even though it's just a difference of December 31st to January 1st.
Now, I have a question for you. To meet your resolution, what is something that you are willing to give up?
Oh, I don't think I've thought about that yet. I don't know. What would I have to give up for better mental health?
My therapist always tells me you have to be comfortably uncomfortable in order to make change in your mental health.
That's so beautiful. I want that on a throw pillow.
I will find you a throw pillow that says that.
Thank you.
You know, you got to give up something. I obviously have to give up things that I love, like sugar, bread,
Mhm.
pasta. You
Your
know, I just eat
happiness.
it all. Happiness, yeah, all that. I got to give it up. And that's a big problem is people don't think about what they have to give up.
I didn't really think about what I'd have to give up. And that's probably not the first thing people are thinking about when they make a New Year's resolution. And the overconfidence does kind of come in because they're looking at all the things they're going to get, but not really the things that they're going to give up.
That's like a huge problem because people like make goals like, oh, I'm going to spend less money, but then don't realize that you have to spend less money to spend less money. That's also my New Year's resolution now that I think about it. Spend less money. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Well, spend less money on buying stuff that I don't need.
Yeah, and for that, you have to also give up, well, kinda your happiness, right? That instant gratification that you get when you get new things.
Exactly. I get so excited when a package comes to my door. Half the time I don't even know what it is, but I'm just happy that it has my name on
It's a bill.
it. No, I don't open those.
Oh my god.
And people often like focus too much on specific outcomes, and it can be really discouraging when you're not reaching like a very specific goal. You lose sight of progress they already made and they give up because it's not like the specific goal they wanted to hit, even though it's like close.
Mhm.
Like you could lose like 25 pounds, but then like give up. But like if you just stop losing weight, like all of a sudden, like because you didn't meet the 30, it feels like you put all that effort in and it went to waste. So I get that.
Right. Yeah, but people aren't looking at all the effort that they're making. They're just looking at the outcome. So by making it specific, it's hard to be appreciative or be happy about like the progress that you made.
Exactly. What did what's her face? The really famous girl. You never see her in the same room at the same time with herself.
With
Miley
herself?
Cyrus.
Oh, man, I was so confused until you said Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus says, "Life's a climb, but the view is great. Like you got to make that effort to get up there. Once you get up there, no matter how far you have climbed, the view is still going to be good."
Oh, that's actually really nice. Isn't that from her movie?
That's from Hannah Montana the movie. Don't watch that movie religiously.
You know what? I've been falling asleep to Disney movies, and it's been a world of a difference. I used to have the worst time falling asleep, but I think tonight I'm gonna fall asleep to the Hannah Montana movie. So, do you have any other reasons why New Year's resolutions don't work out for people?
A couple actually. A lot of times people don't have the support system that they need. So without that support system, it's really hard to like meet your goals. Like I know for sure, like I keep asking my grandparents, like, don't bring sugar into the house. And then they'll like go out and then they'll like buy a bunch of sugar and bring it in. They'll be like, I thought of you when I saw this. And I'm like, yes, because I told you not to. Please help me out here.
It's like I have a vague memory of you saying something about sugar, but I can't remember what
Exactly.
it was.
Another reason why people don't stick to their resolutions is they don't pick realistic goals.
Yeah, no, I see that a lot.
Yeah, and then, like, there's a whole group of people, they just rush into it too fast and then exhaust themselves of it before before even, like, the week is up of the new year, you know what I mean? And I think the worst part about, like, not being able to keep your resolution is that you can't keep it if you don't enjoy the process.
No, if you feel like it's ruining your quality of life, most people, they don't want to live that way, you know?
That's why people's resolutions don't really work out. Of course, there are many, many other reasons why they don't work out, but those are just kind of like a few to give you an idea of
Mhm.
why your resolutions may or may not have worked in the past.
I think by looking at why it doesn't work, it's easier to find ways on why it could work.
Hmm.
Because 46% of people keep their resolutions only for 6 months, and only
That's
8,
pretty long.
I mean, yeah, 6 months is a pretty long time, and 46%, that's like, that's a fair percentage. But
Mhm.
only 8% end up keeping it for the whole year. And that kind of seems small, but people are 10 times more likely to keep them when they make it their New Year's resolution than when pursuing it another way.
Like just doing it like in the middle of the year kind of thing.
Yeah, people who just make the resolution like a spur of the moment resolution, they end up not being as successful as when they make it their New Year's resolution. So, in my opinion, I don't think New Year's resolutions are completely overrated. Like, it's part of human nature to want to start something in the beginning of something new, even though it's just like a rotation around the sun. Is that right? It's a rotation around the sun.
Are we rotating around the sun or is the sun rotating around us? I
The
think
sun
we're
is
rotating
not
around the sun.
rotating. No, the sun is not rotating around us. Planets go around the sun, and one full rotation around the sun is a year. So I'm editing right now, and I realized I meant to say revolve, not rotate, around the sun. It was going to kill me and my 5th grade science teacher if I left that in, so I just needed to correct that real quick. Okay, now back to the episode.
Yeah, I don't think they're overrated. I think they actually help people. They help people even just start to make goals, which is like the first step of change.
So I don't think setting goals is a bad thing. I just think the way that people come about it could be unhealthy or the reason why they're giving up. One big one is that a lot of people confuse their resolutions with their goals. So a goal is a specific target to hit within a time period, and a goal has very short-term results. I would say a resolution is made up of goals. Like a resolution is like an overarching, like, I want to lose weight. And then a goal are like the specific steps you take to reach your resolution.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. So like saying like, oh, I want to lose weight is the resolution, and then the
Mm-hmm.
goals like eat better, exercise more, like little steps like that.
Yeah, goals can be a little specific, but a resolution is more of a long term thing. So, a solid resolution should be about the process. When talking to writer James Clear, he wrote 100,000 words in 1 year. But instead of making the 100,000 words his New Year's resolution, he made his resolution to develop a consistent writing habit.
That was smart. That sounds like that's like a lot less pressure on you.
He was able to write 100,000 words, and then he also stayed on the path after he was done writing the 100,000 words. If he made his entire resolution just to write this amount of words, he probably wouldn't have continued it after he met that goal. So, after declaring the resolution, he suggests that you should create a system that works for you. So, for him, his system was to publish a new blog every Monday and Thursday. And then this system should be simple, achievable, and measurable.
That reminds me of what were those things that we did? I don't remember. Where did we do SMART goals? Do you remember
In
SMART
PE,
goals? Did we?
yeah, I did SMART goals in PE.
I have a memory of doing them in college. I just don't remember what I was doing them for.
Did you take health?
I did take health in college.
Do you
Yeah.
think it was from
So
health?
that was probably it. It was
Yeah.
probably health. I don't remember, but like that just reminds me of like SMART goals. I don't
Yeah.
remember what SMART stands for, but like if you know, you know.
I wonder if that's a US thing. I actually don't know. Our 2% in Germany is going to be so confused.
Probably. We got a pretty good international audience, so shout out to you guys.
So when you create these steps to follow, you should be just as excited to complete your process goal than when you are achieving your resolution. Once you're more excited about the little individual steps that you make, you'll be more motivated and you won't give up so soon. So, like what you were talking about when you said,
Oh, I'm the opposite. I get so discouraged after the first time. I'm just like, oh, I couldn't do it. I'll never be able to do it. Oh, well, might as well go back to my old ways.
a way to combat that is that you make smaller goals for yourself throughout the year. You won't be as discouraged because you met your goal for that month.
I actually bought a planner.
Ooh.
I bought a very expensive planner for 2020 because I figured if it was expensive, I would use it. And see, this is why my other resolution is to spend less money. Because I could have just
Well,
bought any planner.
It didn't work for your gym membership though, because gym memberships are expensive.
Yeah, definitely didn't work for that. But I bought this planner and I'm hoping that in 2020 it'll like keep me on track, and it has like a thing where you can write like your weekly goals in it. And I'm hoping that like by setting weekly goals, like that'll like help a lot. You know what I mean?
No, I love planners. You already know. I put everything in my planner. You know, I actually got a planner for Christmas. That's how that's how people see me, I guess.
They see you for the Virgo that you are.
I know.
How do we keep ourselves on track with that?
So basically, the planner idea that you said was a great way to keep track of you completing your process goals. Self monitoring is key to that. When I was trying to clear my skin, I always took progress pictures because sometimes you forget, like, just where you started. And sometimes having like pictures and references to how you were in the beginning to how you are in the end, it
Mhm.
really makes a big difference because you can actually see how much you're changing.
Yeah, and that's like gotta be like motivating, you know, like the
Mhm.
more you visually see change, the better off you're probably gonna stick with your goals.
Right. Because I didn't really see my change until I actually took pictures. At first, I thought, like, oh, my skin is just looking the same. But until I saw, like, the before pictures, I'm like, oh, wow, actually, it did change. And I didn't realize it.
Mhm.
So, when you're writing your process goal, you should also include your purpose into the sentence. So, instead of your entire goal being, I'm going to lose, how much did you say? Like 30 pounds?
30 pounds, yeah.
30 pounds, that could be your end resolution, but your process goal should be I will exercise 3 times this week for 30 minutes in order to achieve better health.
That makes sense, and that actually sounds like a lot better,
Mm,
especially because 'cause you're not putting so much pressure on yourself. Just the smaller, it just sounds so much better.
I know. Yeah, it seems more achievable. And then also by including that you want to do it because of your better health, then you're keeping your purpose in that sentence. You're going to remind yourself the purpose every single time you complete your task.
Mhm.
And finding purpose is a huge part of making a goal or making any sort of commitment. Like you said, if you're not motivated to do it, then why are you doing it?
Exactly, especially if you don't know why you're doing it, like, why are you doing it?
Write it down somewhere that you can see every single time you feel like giving up.
Oh, that's smart, and people could get, like, expo mirrors? Expo markers and write on your mirror,
Those
like, that's
expo
really cute.
mirrors. You know what? I did that with the expo marker on my mirror, and honestly, you just forget it's there.
Oh.
Oh, no, I have, like, a really great tracker of how much water I drink on my mirror, and then after a while, I just kind of forgot that it was there. Maybe if you're gonna write it on your mirror, you should write it, like, right in front of where your face is.
Oh, that's smart, so that way you
Yeah.
can't forget it.
Yeah, because I wrote it in the corner, and I completely forgot it was there until, like, a couple months later. I was cleaning my mirror, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I was supposed to drink water. It's been a whole month, I didn't drink any water."
Well, at least you're still here.
Yes. No, I have my water. Another way that will help you stick to your goal is to make a public commitment, which is why we're here. We are here to make this public commitment to stay on track with our goal.
We're counting on all our listeners to hold us accountable.
All 24 of them, including the one in Germany.
I love that way in Germany.
Yeah, there is someone in Germany. I think there was one in Mexico too.
Canada.
On Canada, of
Mhm.
course. Now we know if we move to Canada that there's at least one fan out
This
there.
one.
At least one. That's all we need. We'll crash on their couch.
Exactly.
More people will stick to their commitment when they make it public. So even though, I'm also tired of seeing people post their goals and stuff on social media, but that's a big way to like hold people accountable. I know that's one thing that kept me posting new episodes of this. We made a commitment. We had all of our friends and family like follow us on Instagram. We're kind of more inclined to be regular with our schedule?
Mhm. Oh, that's smart. I'm probably gonna do that. I'm gonna do that on New Year's Eve. I'm gonna post my New Year's resolution, and that way everybody on Facebook can hold me accountable. Because I actually have a really supportive group of people on Facebook, and I'm
Oh,
like friends with people who used to bully me. I'm friends with people who, well, just because I'm nosy, like I just want to know what they're up to.
no, that makes sense. I
But
do that.
I'm friends with people who used to bully me. I'm friends with people I don't even really know like that. I just know that you went to my school. Like, I'm friends with people that I've talked to maybe once in my life. And those tend to be like the most supportive people. Like, I've had people rooting for me that I have maybe shared like 5 words with or less.
Aw, well, that's nice.
Yeah. So I'm hoping like, my little Facebook community can hold me accountable.
No, that's really good. It's good to have or surround yourself with like-minded people, whether it be friends that are supporting you, but also people who are going through the same goal as you could be really beneficial to you completing it. It can be encouraging to hear others going through the similar struggles and seeing them accomplish their resolutions might encourage you to do the same. I mean, sometimes even seeing people who have a longer ways to go get to their goal, it makes it seem like, well, if they can do it, then I can definitely do it. Like Facebook's a great way if you can join groups that have the same kind of like a weight loss journey theme to it, then that could be really beneficial to see.
That could, yeah, I think I'm going to try that actually.
Ever since that first episode where we talked about it, the what was it, the social media episode?
Socially unacceptable.
Yes. Ever since then, I've been joining Facebook groups for everything, and it's been really helpful. Like, I did it for the skincare. It's been nice to see their, like, struggles were the same as mine, and their journey was the same as mine, or similar, or worse.
No, that's good. Like a really good support system. Like I'm glad you found
Mhm.
that.
And then make sure to reward yourself. I feel like that's so important. People don't pay attention to the little goals and little accomplishments that they've made. They're not rewarding themselves enough for that.
That is so true. I feel like people feel like they're not deserving of a reward until they meet their resolution, which really they should be rewarding themselves like in small increments along the way.
Yeah. So, like I said, when you make those process goals, for each process goal that you accomplish, you should give yourself a reward for that. Whether it be like a little spa day or, a little cheat day. I think that's very important. Everything needs a balance.
Exactly. I'm making every Saturday my cheat day.
At the end of the day, it's not a bad thing to set goals for yourself. It's important when you're trying to improve, unless your goal is to like murder 5 people or something, then make sure
Oh my God, don't keep
don't
don't give them
don't do
ideas.
that. If it's a good goal and it's a positive goal and it's there to help people, then yeah, by all means, make a goal, make a system to follow, and reward yourself at every process goal that you accomplish.
Exactly. You know, Miley Cyrus said it best. Life's a climb, but the view is great. I just
Can you
love saying
stop?
that.
Well, I think it would be fun if we took our New Year's resolutions and took what we learned from this, rewrite it as a system to follow instead of a resolution.
Okay, you first.
Okay, so my original resolution was to improve my mental health, but my system to follow is I will attend therapy and practice self-care at least once a week in order to achieve better mental health.
That's a good one.
I already signed up for therapy. So
I'm already halfway there! Halfway there! Halfway there!
Mine was to lose 30 pounds, and I think I'm gonna change that to I'm going to exercise 5 times a week and only eat carbs 1 day a week in order to fit back into my old jeans because I miss my jeans so much.
that's beautiful. I love it.
I'm coming back for you, jeans. Oh, I have one more resolution
What is that?
to end this podcast.
Oh, well, we're already there. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cheers and Tears. I'm Eraj.
I'm Jay. Tune in next time when we have live coverage of Elmer Fudd's inauguration. Yeah, let me lube up my vocal cords.
Because you're going to be doing an interpretive song.
Me.
That's how I'm going to start off this this podcast, just you clearing a throat. Me.
Go for it.